we have this very strong part of our brain that literally is so powerful that it can, with the thought alone, we can almost experience reality, and our brain cannot differentiate whether that is really happening or if it's something that's happening just in our imagination. So just by observing someone else, mirroring their neurons, our brain starts integrating that as part of our own experience, and we start getting better at that. Welcome everyone to Life with Liza podcast. Our mission at Life with Liza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage and the hope to be their better selves. And often I'm asked, where do I come up with all of these ideas or something that I share here on my podcast? And truth be told, it's actually all of the ideas that connect together, and then I have kind of an epiphany or a breakthrough, and that's something that I'm sharing here with you, because it could be something that I learned from Tony Robbins and reading his book 5 years ago, and then now I learned something from the book on the brain that I'm reading, and now it's all connected in this one beautiful breakthrough or an epiphany, and that I'm about to share with you here on the podcast. But it's very interesting whenever people ask, what are some of the books that I should read, or can you give me a couple of books that you've read and that changed the way you see the world? It's very hard because every book has had its impact and has made its own contribution, even a small one, but that could have adjusted the course. It's very hard to say or to point to some particular books, but I will definitely be creating a list of books that were the most impactful. And the breakthrough that I had today and I wanted to share with you is, so Tony Robbins always is saying that proximity is key. You need to be close to the people that you want to be like, and that would help you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So let's say if you really want to start working out regularly and you don't work out at all, become friends with people who work out 5 times a week, and you are the only one who is not working out in that group, and you'll start working out almost immediately after you've started hanging out with that group. And it's not only because of the peer pressure, but there's something else going on here, and that was a missing piece that I learned today. So in our brains we have this functionality which is called mirror neurons. So basically, when you're speaking with someone or you're interacting with someone or even watching someone, and if you are very present in the moment, your brain will start mirroring their brain. So when they did the scans of 2 people who are having a conversation, and if 2 people were very engaged in the conversation, the same areas in the brain were actually lighting up. They were mirroring each other. And that's the phenomenon which is called mirror neurons. But what is even more fascinating about this and how it links up with why proximity matters, it is that even if you're surrounded by, let's say, even if you go to the match and you watch Serena Williams play tennis, she is one of the best tennis players in the world, and if you watch her for long enough, you yourself will become a bit better at playing tennis, even without playing tennis, because your mind is a very powerful tool. It cannot really differentiate between the reality and the imagination, because we have a very strong neurocortex. I always mess up the name of that one, but we have it. We always have. We have this very strong part of our brain that literally is so powerful that it can, with the thought alone, we can almost experience reality, and our brain cannot differentiate whether that is really happening or if it's something that's happening just in our imagination. So just by observing someone else, mirroring their neurons, our brain starts integrating that as part of our own experience, and we start getting better at that. So if you surround yourself with people who are great public speakers, and you start automatically, it's not something that you control, and you're like, let me turn on my mirror neurons and start copying what their brains are doing. But just by being close with other people who are doing something that you cannot yet do, or something that, or are someone that you aspire to be, is just so powerful. Because of that, proximity allows also for mirror neurons, and it also runs for your neurocortex to actually imagine the thing and believe that it's happening in reality, and program yourself that you're actually getting better. And I think very important part that I need to mention here as well is that they've also done studies where, let's say there are two groups of people, and one group of people is actually practicing playing the piano, and another group of people is imagining their mind practicing playing the piano, and actually both of them have improved that part of the brain which is responsible for playing the piano, and have improved in their skills. Whereas one group was actually practicing playing the piano and another group was actually doing it just in their imagination. So that's the power of the mind. That's how powerful our mind is. So you can literally train yourself for anything just with a thought alone, just with your imagination. And so often our brains just come up with the worst case scenario and we start imagining that very vividly. And what it does, it just brings us closer to that worst case scenario, or increases the probability of that worst case scenario actually happening, instead of learning these new skills, imagining the best case scenarios and getting closer to our goals through this powerful tool that we have. And I feel like our brain is so powerful, and it's just up to us how we use it. We can use it to our own good, or we can use it to our own detriment, and we decide. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, and let me know if it was the first time that you heard about the neurons concept. And I cannot believe that now it is already episode 67 out of my 100-day challenge, where I am releasing 100 episodes in the last 100 days of 2022. And it is just a proof that anything is possible and no excuse is truly valid if you put your mind to it. And I see you in the next episode.